Yo guys, always good. Welcome back on the Uncle Sharma channel. Here today for World Cup review, match day 1, match day 2. Well, actually, technically, I guess they're called day 1 and day 2 because it's still match day 1. Quick live stream review. I'm not expecting many people to be here. I can see there's one person here. I'm actually surprised because I didn't set it ahead of time. I just went live just now. I've had, been working, but also watching in between. I've been, trying to do both things. The timing is really bad here in the UK because, the England match was at 1 o'clock, right in the middle of the working day. Even the Netherlands game was, before the working hours end at 4 o'clock. There's the USA game going on right now against Wales. They're winning 1-0. But, it's been an interesting start to this World Cup. What have you guys made of this World Cup until now? Future Hendricks in-house. What's up, Sharma? Obligatory Brick Freeze comment. We'll get into Brick Freeze as well. He has not made Interisti proud. He's kind of showed Interisti what they've been moaning about over the last few months. We'll get into Brick Freeze for sure. Thank you for coming through. Emiliano, hello. What is up? Hey, Narazuri Anel, congrats on your win. Of course, you must be supporting your boys. The Netherlands started off with a nice 2 goals and a clean sheet. I can't start much better than that. Argentina going to play early, yeah, man. Argentina's game is going to be tomorrow at 10 a.m. I don't know. I'll have it, because luckily I have a 3-screen setup. I've got my laptop and 2 screens, so I'll be able to have it on. But obviously, we won't be able to focus on it too much. The England game was different because everyone knew, like at work, England. Work in England, people are going to be watching the England game, and I work from home, so you can find ways around it. But the 10 o'clock one is difficult. If I were Marotta, I would go for Cody Gakpo. The flow, it's already. The thing is, for players like this, it's already too late. Cody Gakpo, his price is already, even before the World Cup, they're talking about 30-40 million. If he continues like this, by the end of this World Cup, it will be 50 million plus. Premier League teams only can't touch this boy. So, yeah, we're already too late on that train. But yeah, he looks like a good, interesting, athletic second striker, CAM winger profile, like a very good hybrid. But I want to kick off things off with Qatar, guys. What did you make of Qatar? Obviously, egg on my face, I predicted these guys to come through with a win in their first game. I thought host country, big momentous day for them, like the World Cup coming to the country, controversy off the pitch and stuff. But I thought, these guys have been getting ready for years and they flopped. they let us all down, or people that were expecting them to win. It's crazy. They did not show up yesterday. They did not show up. And I haven't even watched this game live. I'll have to admit, I did not watch the Qatar game live. Usually I try to watch the opening game of the World Cup pretty much every single World Cup. But this one, yesterday I was watching the Wakanda Forever movie instead. But I watched the highlights and it seems like I didn't really miss too much, to be honest, from what I saw from the highlights. The XG there, SofaScore actually started adding XG now. So that's a really good addition by them. So we don't have to go on a different app now to look at XG and things like that. 1.18 for Ecuador, 0.32 for Qatar. But yeah, apart from that half chance that Muntari, which is funny that his name was Muntari, of course, the former Inter and Milan player. But no, obviously he's not that Muntari. Yeah, that was the only real good chance I remember from the highlights. Enner Valencia, crazy. Like these guys at the World Cup, guys, isn't it always the World Cup? Like these guys that you haven't heard of for ages, they just turn up out of nowhere. Like Enner Valencia, even today for Netherlands. Vincent Janssen, like the guy who flopped at Spurs and I haven't heard of the guy for like 3 or 4 years and he just popped up today. But yeah, Enner Valencia was fair play to him. I think he plays for Fenerbahce now in Turkey and captain of the Ecuadorian team. And I thought they were going to finish last. I didn't know too much about this Ecuador team. But I have to respect them. It looked like a good team. I didn't know how long of an unbeaten streak they had, these boys. Not just unbeaten, not conceding goals. I think it's been like over 600 minutes or something crazy like that. So pragmatism, especially international football, always pays off. So I think this Ecuador team can cause some upsets. So definitely deserve a lot more credit than I gave them. And yeah, top of the group right now with as they are at the moment, aren't they? So very, very good. Let me see some more of your comments. Thanks on 2 late goals, but we're moving forward to win a good Gakpo goal. Yeah, that's 400%. What's my opinion on Thuram? There's a video coming on Thuram. Thank you guys for, reminding me or asking about it. But there's a video, the scout report videos that I do. If you guys remember my Skamaka one, obviously that didn't happen, but my Aslani one, Belanova, Gosens, I try to look at the positives, negatives of a player. Of course, he might not end up at Inter, but yeah, it looks like I've said it. If you guys remember on my previous live stream, even before the confirmations came in the market, it was like when Auxilia Marotta go for a player, Inter pretty much signed Thuram before he got injured the season before we got Correa. So there was no doubt for me that we were going to go for him, and yeah, there's been multiple confirmations now, multiple sources. So I do believe it, and 100%. It looks like Auxilio is going to travel to Qatar to speak to potentially Thuram's agent. So keep a lookout on the channel for that video. Ciao Punzara. And he used to be more of a winger type, but he's turned into a striker now. So yeah, you'll find out more about Thuram if you're interested in that video. Hopefully get time in the next couple of days to whip that video up. Those videos always take more effort than other ones. One good thing about being unemployed, at least I can watch the games. Hey, this is the perfect time to be unemployed. The timing of these games is made for unemployed people. So shouts out to you. A lot of Indian fans in Qatar. Yeah, there's a big Indian population in Qatar in general. People don't seem to realize, people were making those fun of those memes about, there's so many Indian or Pakistani fans of Argentina and Brazil. But it's there's a lot of Indian and Pakistani people out there in Qatar. That's like, a lot of the people that emigrated to Qatar, a lot of them are from those countries. So it's not actually people are saying, they got paid to do this, paid to do that. If you go to India, you'll find a lot of unpaid Brazil, Argentina fans. Like it's just they're supporting, the team that they're feeling like supporting. So yeah, very interesting. I'm not feeling this World Cup. Yes, Emiliano, I agree. I don't know what you guys think, but first couple of days, and I'm not talking about any of the off-field stuff because I'm not even there, so I don't care about like what's going on out there. I'm just talking about strictly on a footballing basis, the spectacle, the entertainment factor, the crowd, the atmosphere hasn't quite been there. Like the stadiums don't look fully sold out. Of course, these are early group stage games, so maybe they wouldn't be anyway. But the crowd, the noise is not quite there. Yeah, it's not really gripped me at the matches as well. Like today, the England one had a lot of goals in it, but it wasn't like a great game to watch, to be honest, in terms of quality. Same for the Netherlands and Senegal. Ecuador, Qatar, it seemed like it wasn't that great either. The USA looks like, looks a bit more entertaining, but again, now obviously I'm live streaming, so I don't know what's going on. So it hasn't been the greatest start to this World Cup. I agree. I'm not feeling it for now, but it's not going to stop me from watching it for sure. Yeah, Senegal definitely missed big Sadio Mane. Oh yeah, one of the good positive things to come out of this World Cup already, Japanese fans, man, these guys are always top dollar. Like, these guys always get credit wherever they go, every tournament. And once again, yesterday, there was a video going viral. These images here of showing that this wasn't even their game. Japan weren't even playing, but these Japanese fans that attended the game stayed behind to help clean up at the stadium. So yeah, huge respect. As the tweet says, these Japanese fans always deserve credit. And yeah, good question, the Flo. There has been some crazy extra time or like added on time. I mean, the England game probably needed it because the goalkeeper was down for time. He was down for a long time. But yeah, all of the games, it seems like the referees are really either they must be having like, like a stopwatch. As soon as there's a waste of time, they've got like a stopwatch going to like accurately record it, or I don't know, they just feel like they need to add more time to create more spectacle or more playing time. I'm not sure. So yeah, definitely want to keep an eye out for. Evening, Debbie, thank you for coming through. I thought it was only Barbadians that jacked the Brazil national team. Nah, bro. If that's what I'm saying, people make fun of like on Twitter. A lot of people say like, oh, if you have like a messy profile picture, you're probably like Indian Argentinian fan or something. But yeah, it's just like obviously the Indian national team isn't that good, so I guess they gravitate towards the much better teams out there. wherever the heart gravitates to, right? Yeah, moving on from the Qatar game, the England game. This one I watched, as I said, whilst lunch, a very long lunch break that I had. But I had it on the side whilst I was working as well. Yeah, and complete domination from very disappointed by Iran, to be honest. Of course, England were good, but I was more disappointed by Iran. Again, one prediction that clearly maybe I've got wrong already, that I predicted Iran would go through second in this group after England, which still can happen. But the way they play today, if they play like that against the other teams, there's if they play against like that against USA or Wales, they're not going to go anywhere. Even though there was a little sign of life just from Taremi just carrying the team on his back. Of course, the one real quality player, as we previewed. He's not world class, but he's like, he's a good player that could play for a lot of top teams around Europe. And he proved it today. Like, one real proper opportunity, took it, and then the penalty, took it. Disappointed by Jahan Baksh and some of their other quality players. But England, starting just like they started last time, against, was it Panama 6-1? I think they won the last World Cup 2018. Stat padding some goals, some may say. Harry Kane didn't get to stat pad this time round. But Saka and Bellingham there, look at his heat map. He didn't get man of the match, but he definitely was up there. I think Saka got man of the match. And yeah, as my title says, the youth shines, especially for England. Saka and Bellingham. Bellingham was probably, I think I didn't say in my preview video, but if I had to pick like a young player of the tournament shout, for me, it was going to be Bellingham. But yeah, Saka's definitely a front runner if he continues like this. He was killing the Iranian on his side, on the right hand, on the right wing. Bellingham dominating the midfield all over, everywhere, and then getting that goal as well. First ever goal for England. Wow, what a time to get your first ever goal for your country in the World Cup. Did Larry Lane? Oh, Harry Kane. No goal from him. He got an assist. So yeah, I'm sure he's going to stat pad some goals in the group stages. He always does. But yeah, the possession, the 78% possession for England, 21.9 for Iran. Very, very poor from them. Very disappointed. And yeah, this is the thing about England. I know they're not a lot of people don't like England, and even though I live in England, I'm not supporting England. I just I like them. I don't mind them going through to like a later stage, but just winning them would cause a lot of headache to my life, to my social and personal life here in England. But you can't handle them. It was the same at the World Cup, if you guys remember the Euros. No one can handle England at these corners. England are just a massive team, especially Harry Maguire. He's very criticized. He's a mean player. People said he shouldn't go to this World Cup, blah blah blah. But people need to international football and club football is different. He's a trusted member of Southgate's back line. Him and John Stones, it's a partnership, just like Bonucci and Chiellini for Italy as a comparison. Like when we went into the Euros, I was unsure about that partnership because Bonucci wasn't in good form for Juventus, and Chiellini had, obviously it was injury. But once they come together, the partnership is great. These Stones and Maguire have a great understanding, and in the air, no one can handle them. They can't touch them. And as that tweet says from Coach Cams, he's like, prime Shaquille O'Neal on these corners. Like every single time he wins it, and here he nods it on to Saka where he scores. He hit the crossbar from one. Stones is also good. Harry Kane's also good. Declan Rice is good in the air. This is an athletic team. Like all the England players, like even Mason Mount, like these Iran players would literally just, going shoulder to shoulder with the England boys, and they were just bouncing off. Like they've got a good combination of technical ability and athletic ability, which is in modern football takes you far. And that is the reason why the last two tournaments, semi-final and the final. So as much as people dislike England, you have to give credit for them. And then once again, they will be one of the favorites to go and win this tournament potentially. It depends what type of run they get to the end of the tournament. Musa looking good. We've been linked with him, but I doubt we can get Musa the reported fee that Valencia won for him is 25-30 million. These are the type of players that Inter will be able to land at this moment in time. But yeah, he reminds me of Frank Kessie in terms of his not just like, you know, in terms of how he looks, and just like his built, like his lower body, the strength, like he just holds onto the ball, good dribbling, good receiving. Needs to improve his like final product, but like he's a very interesting player. That is definitely a profile that Inter need. Musa, that kind of athletic profile. Let's move on to Forza Inter Sembi. Yes, Bruce, today, unfortunately, we're not talking about Inter. Actually, we'll touch on it now when we talk about Dumfries or Brick Freeze. Cody Gakpo, again, the youth shines. This guy was 22, 23 years old at PSV. He's having a breakout season. I think he's got the best numbers in Europe in terms of goals and assists, like even ahead of the likes of Holland and all them boys. Obviously, he plays in the Dutch league, so it's different. But still, he came through for them today. Senegal, I think this game actually should have been a draw. Even the XG kind of shows the 0.8, 0.66. None of the two teams really create good chances. I think it could have been or should have been a 0-0 draw until Edouard Mendy decided to bring his bozo gene out. I mean, it has been coming out a lot more this last year or so. Since Chelsea won the Champions League and since really the AFCON as well, like Edouard Mendy's is crazy. Like he had such a quick rise. Like he came from France almost as an unknown, then came to Chelsea almost like, you know, he was even himself saying that he should have been, you know, up there for the Ballon d'Or shouts, best goalkeeper in the world, people were saying as well. And then what a massive dip he's had over the last year. And that's why, you know, it's about if you can maintain those levels, it's fine doing it for 1 year, but can you do it for 2, 3, 4, 5 years? And yeah, he was basically the reason why they lost. As you know, I've took the Sofa Score screenshots on the side. He's got the lowest rating of the match, quite rightly, because those 2 goals wouldn't happen if he was, you know, even okay. Because first the decision to come out on that, completely missed it, and Gakpo takes advantage on the header, and then the second one was a rebound from his really poor save, very, very poor save. So Holland, the Netherlands, really, I think they got away with it. They weren't that good. I think Senegal were probably slightly better. I think I would say they were slightly better. Their keeper actually came through with a couple of decent saves, because actually Senegal had more shots on goal until the goals were scored. Noppert, who's apparently another unknown guy that's just kind of coming through recently, another interesting story. So, yeah. Holland, I'm expecting him, as I said, I expect them to finish first in this group, so no surprise there. But in the match, it probably should have been a draw. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, Giro Zapelli, if Valencia is the next, you know how it is in Serie A, if like a Salernitana or like like a random team from like mid-table ends up signing him. But I'm sure he's earning some good money in Turkey, so it's probably going to be hard to tempt him away. Yes, King Darian, I agree as well. Maybe he was staying with Lakaka. Dumfries was bad today. Yeah, and as you can see, I've circled the other guy I've circled in this SofaScore ratings was Dumfries. And you guys know I don't really look into these ratings. I'm using it more like as a visual for showing it. But, you know, this tournament, unless you are a Dumfries fan, Interista Dumfries fan, we've gone into this tournament hoping that he performs for Netherlands so we can try to sell him on in the January or in the summer transfer window. And usually he's really good for Holland, but for today he was not. And, you know, again, this wasn't SofaScore wasn't the only one. If you go on, you know, FotMob and all the other ratings apps, he was the lowest rated because he lost the ball, I think, dispossessed or lost possession 23 times. He didn't win many aerial duels. Yeah, as usual, like some of his decision making and crosses weren't good. I think he completed 0 crosses out of 3. So it's disappointing. And again, it's not just about like, now, as I keep saying, like it seems like the Inter fan base is almost singling this guy out. Like we need to sell him. But yeah, of course we need to maximize his value. And I don't want to. Let's not like thinking right now like King Darian. They paid Cucurella. They paid like 55 million from Brighton for Cucurella. So we can still get. I'm very confident that we can get 30, 40 million minimum for this guy if a Premier League teams come. But yeah, he needs to get his level up. And he's in my fantasy team for this World Cup, by the way. And I hope you guys have joined my fantasy World Cup league. He's the only one that he got a clean sheet, so at least he did that for me. But not encouraging signs from Dumfries. The only other standout players probably Gakpo. It's a really weird lineup from Van Gaal. Like the midfield, Berghuis, he's not even a center midfielder. He played alongside Frankie de Jong. Like he's like a winger, attacking midfielder. Daley Blind as a left wing back. Daley Blind, was he like 34 type? Even in his peak, Daley Blind was just, he was a left back, but more of a ball playing left back. But at this age, I really don't understand the decision to have him out there. But I guess he's like kind of like a wide regista, the complete opposite to Dumfries. Actually, it's a similar setup to Inter if you think about it. Daley Blind, a little bit like Di Marco, lovely left foot. Obviously, he doesn't have that athleticism and physicality, but I guess to compensate for Dumfries, sometimes you have to have the other side. And they really didn't have Dumfries like in the build-up play. Like they only really had him up there, which was interesting. The leg to look shaky. In the right of the back three. But yeah, and then for Senegal, Saul was decent. I agree with the rating there. The midfield was good. The two centre mids were good. Like it was good battle in the midfield. Boulaye Dia, the Salernitana striker, he almost scored as well at the near post, but a good save from their keeper. So yeah, good performance from Senegal. I think they'll still go through Senegal. I think they'll be the African team that does go through. But yeah, like they just got punished here. Like you can't give Frankie de Jong that much time. This was the Cody Gakpo goal. You can't give him that much time on the ball. You get punished at this level. And yeah, this is the situation at the moment. When I took the screenshot, it was still 0-0 in the USA game, but they're winning right now, 1-0 against Wales. So they're top of their group, alongside England, of course, who are by far winning with the goal difference. But yeah, I think Senegal can still go through. I think it'll still be Senegal and Netherlands, in my opinion. But Ecuador could be the surprise package. And I'm still expecting Iran to do something, at least to get one win. I think that Group B, apart from England, I think it'll be quite balanced. So yeah, interested to see what happens in the next days. Tomorrow we've got Argentina and Saudi Arabia. So then Denmark, Tunisia, Mexico, Poland, France, Australia. France, Australia should be tuning in because that's at 7 p.m. So that's a good time. The other ones, I wish I could tune into the Argentina one. Emiliano, if you watch my preview, I predicted Lautaro. I predicted Lautaro just as Balkan Warrior says here. I think he steps up for Argentina, and I hope he does as well. But actually, if he becomes top scorer, like everyone's gonna come calling for him. But yeah, sometimes a lot of the times, as I said in my preview, like it's usually someone you don't expect. It would just be like someone out of the blue. That stat pads in the group stage, because in the knockouts he really struggled to get the goals. The games are so tight. In the group stages, if you can get like England today, Saka can just start ramping up. You could end up as a very unlikely top scorer. It never really is the ones you expect in terms of top scorers. But yeah, guys, 22 minutes, quick review of match day 1 from Group A and B. Keep a lookout on the channel. I'll be continuing to make content over this World Cup period. I am not expecting that many views on this. In the live stream, I can only see it's only 15 people, but I still enjoy talking about football. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you leave a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, subscribe if you want to keep up with the World Cup content. Or if you're an Inter fan or you're interested in Serie A, that's my channel mainly. But yeah, let's look out for the Inter players tomorrow. Argentina, of course. Croatia on Wednesday. So we're looking out for those, in Belgium. But yeah, Lukaku won't be playing yet. Cameroon on Thursday for Onana. Who else do we have? Yeah, that's it really. We don't have too many this time around. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Ciao ragazzi, forza Argentina, I guess. Well, it's forza Inter.